back reviewing Saturday Morning RPG. If you've been watching the live stream, and you should be watching the live stream, we were talking about 80s shit for the past little while, so that got us into the nostalgia move. This is developed by Mighty Rabbit Studios. It's a Unity game. You can pick it up for $6.99. Does that say $5.99? I can't see. My eyes stopped working. And the gist of it is, it's an RPG that takes place in a world that is a Saturday morning cartoon with a soundtrack by people who did music for Saturday morning cartoons, featuring weird 3D backgrounds with pixel graphics in the foreground. Hurts your brain. So, time to go on about our chair explanation. We have a cocked up review system that we use based on lawn chairs. One lawn chair means that it's really, really bad. 2 chairs means that 3 chairs means that it's pretty good, and 4 chairs means that Pedro's gonna not stop talking for about 15 minutes, going on about how much he loves it. So we also have our categories of doom. Every category is rated with out of a possible 4 chairs. We have mixed with working. How does it work? How does it run under Linux? And we have 3 people on 3 different distributions to test. We also have shiny and sounds, which is the auditory and the visual nonsense. And if that is pleasing. Controls are self-explanatory, as is fun. So let's get this started. Are you ready to transform and roll out, Ven? Did it make with the working?
Wait, Michael Bay. Lenswear.
No. You need more Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, brilliant. He retired, but he's back. No, did it make with the working? Well, testing it on our lowest possible denominator. Oh, get ready to take that shot, and tonight we'll be taking shots of Highland Ambush. Ubuntu on 1204 LTS, 32-bit because that's why. Test system powered by NVIDIA, 770 sweetness. It ran without an issue, man. I had no problems with it. It loaded, didn't do anything with a multi-monitor display. It was just awesome sauce in the simple fact that it didn't cock up. So, going to be throwing 4 chairs in its face organ. Deal with it.
So, I have a bit of a more varied test rig. I got an AMD A10 5800K system that this game just outright crashes on after the first cutscene. And apparently this is a known issue. You can check it out in the show notes. They haven't updated it since. So I actually switched to the 1411 beta drivers, and that didn't fix it either. So they kind of fucked that shit up on there. On the NVIDIA-powered 670 AMD system I have sitting at my feet here, though. By the way, both of these are running Fedora 20 64-bit. Didn't really have too many issues aside from it didn't pick up my monitor configuration, and I had to fix that through the prefs file. Couldn't do it through the menu. So, for that, 2 chairs. It works on 50% of my systems. It gets 50% of a score.
100% of the time. All right, P-Man.
Oh, yeah.
And on the lower end, on my 8-year-old, well, 9-year-old now, desktop PC with an NVIDIA 5600 EN, it ran out of the box, no problems. On my calculator, using the open source drivers for the ATI, because it's still an ATI 5650 HD, it also ran out of the box, so 4 chairs for me. Can't really complain about that.
Wow. That means that it gets... That's not right, is it? Oh, man, now I have to do math.
Beep, boop, boop,
Curse
beep,
you,
boop,
mathematics!
boop.
Yes, yeah. 2 chairs. 2 chairs for Mix with the Working. Now, up next is Shiny and Sounds. And Ben, I know you love hipster pixel graphics, so why don't you tell us about that?
Well, there is definitely one thing I am well known for, and that is my dying love and admiration of all things hipster, retro, pixely, and graphic-y. Told you God wasn't real. So, what I like to call this with the Shiny and Sounds is Skirting Copyright Simulator 2014. The game, because, man, they, quote-unquote, period it all. G.I. Joe's in here. Back to
Transformers,
the Future,
Care
Transformers,
Bears.
Care Bears, you name it, scissors, zebras, everything.
He-Man.
And
I said, hey. So Ben, what's going on?
Hey man, I'll tell you what's going on. With the sounds, I know the sounds are there. I couldn't really be bothered with them. I had a proper playthrough with this, and screw this, because I think if you're going to make something that's hipster pixel graphic-y, it could be no larger than 10 megs. All right, if you're going to do it right. So it just barfed all over my eye pussies. Had nothing positive with it. It's just like, it's all been done before, and it will all be done again until this fad is over. I grew up playing this crap. I don't need to see it again. One chair. Go the Jordanite.
So Unity 3D textures mixed with pixels in the foreground really hurts my brain organ. It's just a weird disconnect. Didn't really have any issue with the music other than I had to hear it again and again and again as I tried various different things to stop this game from crashing on my AMD box to no avail. But I will say that I can't give it one chair because it's not a garbled mess. It's pretty close though. So this gets 2 chairs for actually having a working graphics substack. And that's it. Pedro.
Yeah, I have astigmatism is the reason I use glasses. My right eyeball is missing a couple of degrees in its circumference. So
Tell us what else is wrong with you, Pedro.
I need the eyeglasses to correct that. But having that,
It'd be
I have
great
to
if this has
disable.
nothing to do with the shining sounds.
I have to disable ambient
I'm just
occlusion
pissed off
in
about my
games because it
astigmatism.
creates the blurriness in some situations, while the foreground is usually defined. And I can't deal with that. My eyes can't deal with that. It makes my eyes hurt. So when you make a game with blurry-ass characters and sharp pixelated backgrounds, it makes my fucking head hurt. One chair.
So did it make your head hurt?
Yes. Yes, it did.
All right, so that's 1 chair with shining sounds. That's not looking too good. Coming up next is Control. Then
Yeah.
talk about the controls because I don't feel like coming up with something clever.
Well, here it is. Controls. What did I try it on? Excluding controller. Out of the box, everything worked. Didn't have an issue with it. Except here's the thing. I can only imagine that some sadistic fuck at this company was see this D-pad thingy. Yeah, apparently one of these, like I don't know, molested his little sister or something, and he loathes it. Or like something tragic happened to this man, because fuck these things. Because you're like, oh, power up, and you're doing this, and you're not rubbing one out. I mean, God help you, right? You could annihilate it, and then the forum's like, well, you don't really have to do it, with a dead. I was like, bullshit. You absolutely do have to do that if you want to get all your little power uppy things. But outside of destroying any controller that you may have with a hat, it worked. It assigned correctly. No issues. Anything I wanted to futz with were easy enough to do. I'm going to give it what it deserves. 3 wet, stinky chairs.
Yeah, I found the controls responsive. I did really find it annoying that I basically had to do this.
Resort to like NES cheating days, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like, or when you're charging, you're going, you have to set the controller down on the table so you can hammer.
The first time you've ever sat down in front of a PC and like, damn, I need a turbo button.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's certainly a thing. I was honestly afraid I would break this controller halfway through playing it. The middle of a combat. It's like that GIF where the guy's driving and he pulls the wheel off. And anyways, I am gonna ding it a chair though, because fucking timing mini games for combat. No, just fuck that noise. But all together, 3 chairs for controls. And Pedro's going to have an interesting perspective on this. Why don't you tell us about it?
He loved it.
This one doesn't work. I mean, it did something. Some of the buttons were responding to my presses, but for the most part, it didn't work. Tried it with the keyboard. Holy fuck, mother of unintuitive mess. It's absolutely, it's all over the fucking place. It makes no sense. I played Final Fantasies 1 through 10 and 10-2, and I've never seen a control scheme so fucked up as this one. And also, fuck QuickTime events. Fuck them up the ass. 1 chair.
All right, well, that's 2 whole chairs for control. And our final subjective category. Then, did this tickle the inside of your butthole? Did you have fun?
Well, fun. Fortunately, that is subjective. Let's look at what we actually have here. This is about Marty, or Mart. I think he's got a hoverboard.
Marty McFly. He has a hoverboard.
Right.
Yep,
It's the power of love.
I think possibly his girlfriend was taken away, so now we have to go through this discombobulated, like duct taped together mess of
Saturday morning cartoons.
Things, right? Nope. I was like halfway through it, and I was like, "Why am I doing this? What's my motivation?" Oh, right. The plot and the whole that's just a delivery mechanism for like, look at all the nostalgia that tries to cover up all this shit gameplay. And I was like, right, there's only so many Care Bear fucking stairs I can do. And Transformers.
It's amazing how much the Care Bear stair sucks too.
Oh, and the zebras, they're horrible. And I mean, yeah, this would be like a fun flash game for like 10 minutes of entertainment. Trying to turn this into a full-fledged thing. Failed so hard. Pedro's mum felt it. So, I mean, and that's all I have to say. I didn't have any fun with this, and I really tried because I loathe the whole JRPG, action-y type, okay, we do this. Hey, you've met this one enemy, but he's 6, and you have to choose who to attack. And that whole system is like overly complex for what it's supposed to be like a stupid, fun little game. I don't need strategy. I don't need to eat a cookie. I need to have some fun. Didn't deliver on that particular mechanism. So, boom, check that business. See, that's called vengeance.
And in the words of the wizard who greets you in the first scene, I love the power glove.
Oh God,
it's so bad. Because you have to have Lucas from the fucking Wizard. Because everyone remembers that Fred Savage movie. Bo Bridges was in it. Christian Slater was in it. It was an all
Super Mario 3 was in it.
Family film.
That was a big Nintendo
and they
commercial.
went to that dinosaur park from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh wow!
But as much as we love sucking Paul Rubens' cock on L.G.C, this game is honestly, I'm giving it 2 chairs for the nostalgia chuckles, and that's it. It doesn't really stand up on its own merits. The gameplay is fairly stale and repetitive. You have to jerk off your joystick every 15 seconds. And yeah, it doesn't really have much in the way of substance. It's entertaining. I played it for an hour and a half. I don't think I'm going to play it ever again.
Yeah. I like JRPGs. I do. Like I said, I played Final Fantasies 1 through 10 and 10-2.
I feel so
until
sorry
my eyeballs fell out, literally.
And your balls.
And this particular game is not it, even though they claim it to be. It really isn't. It's another highbrow indie game that sort of tries to hide its shortcomings under the guise of parody. Unfortunately, it's not exactly parody either. It's just referencing. It's pop culture referencing, pure and unadulterated. And then there's the humor. Me, the giggling death, the guy who spends an entire episode of L.G.C. laughing his ass off. I couldn't find any humor to be had in this game, even though it was pretty obvious it was desperately trying to be funny. One chair.
So that's one chair for fun. And if we total this entire train wreck up, we get one Saturday morning lawn chair for this Saturday morning RPG. Gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. For this run, I mean, pretend like it was a door-to-door religious salesman that...
And answer it naked.
No, that's sexy. Now I got that stuck in my mind. But like most door-to-door religious salesmen, they just want your money, and they're going to give you a lot of bullshit in return for your effort. And that is what this game promises, and it delivers in spades. J-Man?
There are RPGs that use timing minigames for combat, and it's a good game. I'll just cite Legend of Dragoon as just the one example of that. And if you wanted to remake Legend of Dragoon, I would play the shit out of that. But this is not Legend of Dragoon. This is nostalgia chuckles, plain and simple. The game has no real substance. The control scheme is really, really, really dumb. I can see how you could adapt the combat system to another RPG, and it might work a little better, but really, the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts.
What if you had characters that you gave a damn about, as opposed to just going through the motions?
Oh, okay. Yep. I am a fan of the Pokemon series of games where you give no shits about the main character. So I'm not the one to be asked that question.
You do give a shit about your Pokemons. The Pokemons
I do give a shit about
the main
my
characters.
Pokemons. They're my only friends. But anyways, Pedro, what are your final thoughts?
In this game, there's absolutely nothing that makes you want to care about anything that's going on. In fact, I couldn't get out of it any sooner. Stay away. Just